This congregation was called primarily to elect a new superior general for the society, which we did about 2 weeks ago. Father Arturo Sosa was elected to be our new superior general. After that election, we also had the chance to meet with Pope Francis 2 days ago, which was a very consoling and inspiring encounter and conversation. And now the congregation continues by taking up and talking about important matters which have to do with our life as Jesuits, our mission of the society, our global works, our directions and general agendas, different kinds of matters of the society regarding our law, our formation, all kinds of different issues that we're taking up now.
I know before I came here, many of my close friends, some of them serve on the boards of trustees of different Jesuit schools, some of them are teachers at different Jesuit schools. They know that the Society of Jesus receives really vital inspiration from these moments in the life of the society. It kind of gives us an apostolic orientation. Sometimes it gives us some common language to describe the challenges of our mission today. And our lay colleagues, they often will want to hear from us what are some of our key challenges and orientations, and they take inspiration from this work as well.
The theme of the General Congregation 36 is rowing into the deep, taking that story from the gospel, that phrase from the gospel. And as one person said in our meeting the other day, Pope Francis decided to come and sit in our boat for a while. And rather than tell us where we need to row or give us a direction about row this way or row that way, he showed us how to do the rowing and showed us how to go into the deep using discernment, prayer, and the Ignatian principles from the spiritual exercises. It really revealed to me and many of others that he is deeply Ignatian at his core, and as the way he understands the church and leadership in the church comes right from Ignatius and from his Jesuit roots.
He didn't give us a mission. We asked him if he had anything to say to us about, give us a mission. That's what we exist to serve the Holy See. And he basically was much more interested in calling us back to our foundational charism in some of our foundational documents, what we call the Formula of the Institute, that we should be ministers of consolation, and to do that we have to live in consolation ourselves. So pay attention to resistances and desolation, but work through them, and pray for consolation so that we can bring consolation to others. And it's only from that place can we move into accompanying the suffering of the world, at the foot of the cross, and to do this all with a sense of discernment as men of the church, avoiding clericalism, but being men of the church.
I was deeply grateful for the time he spent with us. He spent 3 hours or more with the group, and he's very humble and unassuming. And just a smile on his face. You can watch him in the video. He's just very comfortable with us. It was as if he just wanted to come and sit in our living room and talk with friends and talk with his brothers. I think the Society of Jesus is going to be transformed by this experience. I think all of us will be impacted in some way by the leadership of Father Sosa and by the inspiring words of Pope Francis, when we've had time to really let his message to us and the message of the General Congregation be digested and really taken to heart.
Right. One of the things that we're grappling with is this, what the last congregation called the triptych of identity, community, and mission. And then I think GC 34 talked about community as mission. And coming out of all the preparatory work, this call for integration and deepening. Father Nicolas was aware that in this sort of frenetic world with high-paced activity and saturation of information, we can be tempted to superficiality. So how do we stay centered and go deep while we do this complex mission? And I think that is, this whole congregation is an exercise in that. I think that those of us who serve as provincials, that's our challenge in how our own leadership team works. In fact, that's been said in the aula. Hopefully we can go home and the practice of the congregation, that we'll be able to, in some sense, imitate some of these dynamics in our care for the society at home.
And I remember one of the things that Pope Francis said was, his concern is that in the Society of Jesus, we use the gift of discernment to make space for the Holy Spirit to act and work in our lives. That's one of the key messages that I'm going to take from this congregation, is always to remember we need to make space for the Holy Spirit to speak to us and to move our hearts.
Which you're good at, Tom.
Thank you.